The Soundless Symphony. In a world bereft of sound, where silence ruled and whispers were forgotten, lived a composer named Layla. She had never heard the sweet melody of a song or the laughter of a friend. Instead, she navigated life through her other senses, feeling the vibrations of the world around her. One day, as Layla explored a dusty antique shop, her fingers brushed against a cold object. It was an old, ornate inkwell, its glass surface dark and mysterious. A shiver ran down her spine, and she knew she had to have it. The shopkeeper, a wizened old man, warned her of its power. But Layla paid him no heed. Back at her studio, Layla dipped her quill into the inkwell and started to compose a tune on a blank sheet of paper. As the quill danced across the page, notes emerged from the inkwell's depths, forming a symphony that resonated within her soul. She could feel the music, even if she couldn't hear it. With each stroke of the quill, Layla's creation became more vivid and complex. The ink seemed to hold a life of its own, shaping her melodies into a story of beauty and sorrow. The symphony took on a life of its own, and Layla's heart swelled with the emotions she poured into it. But as Layla worked late into the night, the inkwell's power began to reveal its darker side. The symphony, once a masterpiece of passion, started to twist into dissonance. The notes became haunting, the melody unsettling. Layla could feel a presence within the music, an entity that fed on her emotions. Terrified, Layla tried to stop, but the symphony compelled her to continue. It demanded to be completed, to be set free upon the world. She could sense the malevolent entity growing stronger, seeking to break free from the confines of the inkwell. Layla knew she had to break the cycle. Using her instincts, she found a way to sever her connection to the symphony. With a heavy heart, she shattered the inkwell, shattering the connection between the entity and her composition. The inkwell shattered, the symphony dissipated into nothingness, and Layla was left with a profound silence that stretched before her. She felt a mixture of relief and loss, knowing that she had averted a catastrophe, but also realizing that the symphony's magic had been a double-edged sword. From that day on, Layla returned to her work, composing music through touch and emotion. She learned to appreciate the silence around her, finding beauty in the absence of sound. And as time went on, she became a renowned composer, known for the depth and intensity of her creations. The symphony of her life continued, not in notes that could be heard, but in the emotions she stirred in those who experienced her music. Layla had learned that sometimes the most powerful symphonies are the ones that echo not in the ears, but in the heart and soul.